All right, this might be a little bit of a bad take, but Earth Machine best deck? I don't know, man. What I do know, let me get this out of the way, is that this profile is currently 12-0 after 3 locals, and only 3 of those matches ever went to Game 3. Need I say more? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy Pay. I am feeling great, and I'm coming at you with another spicy deck profile. Today, I am updating my Earth Machine deck profile. So I know I said I was going to do a combo video last time, and I never got around to it. The reason for that is because I actually made a massive change to the list itself. Before, I was playing a trap version. Now I'm playing sort of a hand trap, like mix between going first and going second. Like, it's just a little bit better doing both. So the reason I didn't, like I said, the reason I did not upload that combo video is because I was actually changing the list, making it even smoother, even stronger, and that is where this list comes in. So this list, as I said, has gone 12-0 the previous 3 locals, beating everything meta from Dogmatica Shadal to Prank Kids to Dinosaurs, even sometimes that's not really tier 1, but like Dragon Link. Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything, and it's also taken down Tri Brigade. It really does just have a good matchup against everything, and if you know what you're doing on this deck, nothing can stop you. Now, before I get into it, just want to say this profile will be a little bit different because I've already covered what all of these cards do. I will not be taking as long per individual card, so I'll just be giving you the numbers. If you want more of an in-depth analysis on what each of the cards do, I would recommend checking out my previous Earth Machine deck profile. With that out of the way, let's get right into the list, starting with the main deck. For the Infinitrack ratios, this is still the same: 3 Harvester, 3 Dozer, 2 Trencher, 1 Tunneler, 1 Anchor Drill. This has just been fantastic for me. This has been the same basically since I started playing this deck, and I wouldn't change anything about it still. Just very clean cut. Harvester is 1-card combo, Dozer is the extender that pulls the deck together, Trencher is the Reborn, Tunneler is the Pot of Avarice, and Anchor Drill is the solid soldier. As I said, that is it for the Infinitracks. Going into the Machinas, again, same thing. Triple copies of Metal Cruncher, 1 copy of Fortress, and 1 copy of Citadel. I tested with Double Fortress, and I think I've just realized that Multiple Fortress, it's good because he is a good card to open, but it's a little bit greedy at the same time, and it's really like, greedy's not the right word, but you really don't want to open just him. So I think playing 1 is fine because he's already plenty searchable as well. Thanks to like Metal Cruncher and redeployment, like you can get access to him no problem. So I think 1 was fine, and then Citadel's insane. Like every match I play, this card becomes more and more powerful, and it's just incredible. And then for the Train Boys, 2 Derrick Crane, 1 Bullet Train. This is still the correct ratio. Just being able to, if you open Dozer, being able to reveal 3 trains off of Metal Cruncher, and then double Derrick Crane is more optimal because of the fact that it can chain block. It's just really good. I wouldn't change anything about this. And then the Brick, the Ancient Gearbox. We've drawn him a fair share of times. I've drawn him for turn, I don't know how many times, and it's been frustrating, but we've still gone through it. But you need to play this card. It's just so good. But yeah, that is it for the machine monsters. Nothing has changed on that front. For the hand traps, this has changed a little bit. I'm playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. I was trying to push for 12 hand traps early on, but I realized the math with 9 is just as good, because with 9 hand traps, the odds of you opening 1 hand trap is around 72%, I believe, and the odds of drawing 2 or more is like 30%. And that's fine because like you can also draw permanents for turn, and you can turn off like a window. You can draw Ash or Veiler for turn, and Ash doesn't do as much, but you can draw like Veiler for turn, and you can just discard it for like a redeployment. So they're not all the way dead, and just having the 6th card is nice, but I liked the idea of more hand traps because going second is not the funnest thing to do. Drytron has kind of fallen away a little bit, and has been replaced in the format by Tri-Brigade. There's a lot of Tri-Brigade and Prank Kids and just invoked shenanigans at my locals. So I like the Veilers, the Imperms, and the Ashes. All of these have been really good for me. If you don't want to play Impermanence, my recommendation could be Ghost Bell. But Impermanence has honestly probably been the best out of all of these. It's just that good. But yeah, that is it for the hand traps. I think 9 is the correct ratio for this deck. Just the math checks out and it just works. For the spell cards, this has barely changed. 3 copies of Heavy Forward, 3 copies of Redeployment, 2 copies of Urgent Schedule, and then 1 Called by the Grave. This card has been incredible for me. Against Dragon Link, I've called by a Spheres and he is scooped on the spot. I've called by hand traps that would otherwise end my turn. Because hand traps don't always end your turn, but there are some cards that kind of need to resolve for your turn to be able to continue, and having called by for it is really good. Double Urgent Schedule has been fantastic for me because you can, like, you're drawing a good amount of cards, so seeing this isn't really a problem. And then Heavy Forward and Redeployment are some of the best cards in the deck. Like, Redeployment is, I realized, 1 card combo plus hand loop. Which is just incredible. Like, you rip a card out of their hand as well as doing the full Pot of Avarice combo, and it's really good. And then the 1 trap card in the deck now, other than Impermanence, is the 3 copies of Machina Overdrive. This card is just ridiculous. I realized going second, I can actually get away with siding like 2 of these out. So going second, I can side out 2 of these and that can become something else. But going first, this card is insane. You want to open this every single game when you go first, because getting access to Citadel from deck basically for free because of the interaction with Anger Knuckle, and then being able to Pot of Avarice your banished stuff back so you can get your Tunneler to be able to draw the card off of Overdrive and then draw 2 more cards. It's so good. This is the card that if you resolve, it's really hard to lose the game at that point because it just resets all your resources and you can really just get ahead in card advantage. But that is it for the main deck. 40 cards. I think going over 40 in this deck is foolish just because you want to be as consistent as possible. So let's get into the extra deck. I don't believe this has actually changed, so I'll just run through it really quick. 3 copies of Infantrak Goliath. It just makes Tunneler go burr. Ballista search the box. 1 Anger Knuckle. I still stand by this. I've never needed a second one. 1 Cleaveboard Genius. Some people are playing 2 of this and no Genius. That's wrong. You have to be playing Genius because this off of Urgent Schedule outs the entire Tri-Brigade board, as I've said before, I believe. But Genius has just been so good for me. It really puts the pressure on my opponent's board, and it is just that good. River Stormer used in the combo. Earth Slicer I made a lot recently, and I'm now starting to see just how good pop multiple cards is. So that's a thing. Dingirsu is Dingirsu. I've made this pretty frequently still. Just being able to reattach your Tunneler as well can be pretty big, but just sending is nice. Enter Blathmir, this card has actually been made a lot more recently, and I don't know why, but it's good. I heard Banish a Card from Anywhere is quite nice. And then Super Dora, Gustav Max, and Liba. This has not changed. Still playing the Beatrice because this is my out to Contact C. It's really jank. Like, Contact C actually hurts this deck a good bit. But it being level 6 does mean you can make Beatrice with it with a level modulated Harvester or Anchor Drill. So, I mean, it's jank. I should probably find another out for it, but Beatrice has come in clutch, and I don't think I would recommend cutting her. And then Zeus. More often than not, I just hard make this in weird hands, but yeah, he comes in when he comes in. You could get away with not playing him, but he has been good enough for me that if you have the money for him, I would highly recommend playing him anyway. So that is it for the extra deck, and I'm actually going to go through the side deck as well, which is something I don't normally do. But yeah, so for the side, triple copies of Artifact Lancia. This is for everything that's basically not Drytron or Prank Kids, because this actually hurts a significant portion of the format, and it's just been really good for me. Also, Virtual World is actually weirdly one of the less good matchups for this deck. It's not a bad matchup per se, but Shen can be a little bit annoying, so if you can just Lancia them, like, to stop it all from going off, so you can just go off first, it's really good. Triple Dark Ruler. It's been fine. This is for just random, like, Uggy Buggy combo decks, like Phantom Knights, Dragon Link, just things that want to eat a lot of glue and lock you out of the game immediately. 3 Twin Twisters, 3 Cosmic Cyclone, and a Feather Duster. There will be no back row in this house. The reason I'm playing so much back row hate in my side deck though is I realized that all of my hand traps are really good against combo, and there's not really a lot of hard combo decks in the format that aren't named like Drytron. And against more like mid-range decks like Tri Brigade or like Prank Kids, I can just out-resource them. Like, I have yet to go to game 3 against Prank Kids in this current run with the deck. And I think just the fact that this deck can outpace it so quickly is the reason why. So my big issue then becomes like hard control. So like the Revolt, if I can just Cosmic the Revolt to stop the Shreg from being able to banish anything that's big, if I can Cosmic the Pandemonium, because Pandemonium is only during the main phase, if I can Cosmic the Schism, that can be pretty huge, and also Twin by extension as well. So I just like that just for random back row. And then the last 2 cards on the side are something that I've been experimenting with. They haven't actually come in yet, but in theory it seems pretty strong, is double a Pointer of the Red Lotus. So a lot of people on the side deck are currently playing 2 Anti-Spell and then 1 Imperial Order, which is very good, don't get me wrong. But those are for like trying to lock your opponent out / negating like their equalizers. With this deck, there's not a lot of equalizers. Like Lightning Storm doesn't really hurt me. Talents is like fine, but I don't really commit to the board very much. I just draw a million cards. Like Cosmic is fine, but my back row is always chainable. Twin Twisters by extension, still fine. Like I don't really care that much. So what I do with this, my opponent can have all the stuff they want to try and break my board. I'm gonna rip out their combo piece. Because rule number 1 with this deck, if you do not kill me, bad things happen. Because this deck, if you cannot kill me, I just have so many resources set up that I can play through almost anything that you will put up and just proceed to break your board and then kill you, or just break your board and leave you on like 2 or 3 cards. But a Pointer's been really good. Like I said, I've only like seen it once or twice, but when I have seen it, it's just been incredible. So that is it for the profile. Let's get into some combos. All right, now that y'all have seen the profile and the list, I'm going to show you guys some standard combos. So the first combo takes either of the normal summons that can get access to Brutal Dozer from deck. So this would be either your copy of Harvester or your copy of Metal Cruncher, and then Heavy Forward can get to Harvester and Redeployment can get to Metal Cruncher, but just for the sake of simplicity, I will be doing a standard combo with Harvester. So what you do is you start off by normal summoning the Harvester and activate its effect to search for your Brutal Dozer. Then from there, you activate your Brutal Dozer, tribute Harvester to summon itself, and summon off of the Brutal Dozer, you summon the Trencher from deck. The reason you summon Trencher is it just plays better through Nibiru and just destructive hand traps, because you just want it in the graveyard just so you can always end on the machine, because ending on the machine is the big thing with this deck. If you can do that, you're in a good spot. Alright, so then you make your River Stormer, and then River Stormer will detach Trencher to search for an Earth Machine. In this case, you search for Bullet Train. If you open Bullet Train, you can search Dara Crane, but if you also just open Dara Crane, it allows you to make Super Dora. So that's pretty cool. Then you summon the Bullet Train. The reason you do it in this order is because this is the 5th summon. If they Nibiru right here, during the end phase, you'll be able to Bullet Train, get back Harvester, and just try again next turn, and that's not bad. So what you do then is you link off Stormer for the first copy of Goliath, and then link off both Goliath and Bullet Train for your copy of Ballista. Ballista on summon will search for the box, and wherever the box may be, and then on search, the box will search for your Tunneler. Then what you do is you Tunneler tribute Ballista to summon itself. Then you link off the Tunneler for a Goliath. You activate Stormer Engrave, tribute Goliath to special itself in defense. Link for the 3rd Goliath. Activate Trencher Engrave, banish itself. Well, I am throwing cards. I threw the Harvester off the table that you banish, target the Harvester, or if you led with Metal Cruncher, you can just summon back Brutal Dozer and it still works. So yeah, you banish to summon back either of these two. You don't want to target the Tunneler, because it means you lose to just one DD Crow there. Because if they DD Crow the target, that can hurt a little bit, and you really don't want them to DD Crow the Tunneler, so you just target something that's not the Tunneler. Just little things like that make all the difference. And then you link 2 for your copy of Anger Knuckle, activate Tunneler, you put back, what I typically do is I put back the Ballista, all 3 Goliaths, and then you could do a couple things here, but I put back the Harvester because during the end phase I can get back Brutal Dozer, because I'm almost always going to have a machine, or at least access to a machine. So we shuffle that away, and then we just draw 2 cards. The draw 2 really doesn't matter what it is too much, because you're gonna, like you're seeing, this is just super hard plus. So it's Citadel and Ash Blossom. Remember, this is off of 1 card, so we still have 4 other cards in hand. 2, 3, 4. Again, not bad. Obviously, we don't have the most disruption with this hand, but we do have ways to send Citadel, and they're gonna end up killing something, especially since we also have Urgent Schedule. We're just not dying here, and then on turn 3, we're gonna come back and we're just gonna break whatever they've built up. So that is the standard combo. Let me show you the hand loop combo. Alright, so the hand loop combo is just opening redeployment and then a card to discard. Just to make sure that the discard really does not matter here, I just chose Effect Veiler, but you can just discard any card for this. So what you do is you activate the redeployment, discard your card, and you search for your copy of Metal Cruncher and your copy of Fortress. There it is. And then you will normal summon Metal Cruncher and activate its effect. You will basically just reveal, instead of Brutal Dozer, you will reveal 3 copies of Harvester. I just grab all 3 always just because, you know, some players want to see that, and that makes sense. But yeah, you just reveal Harvester, Harvester, and Harvester. Then you summon Fortress by discarding itself and Harvester, because it can do that. Don't forget, that is, Fortress is broken. Like, you gotta love really old cards because they don't have random stipulations that would hurt them. So that's pretty cool. You link these 2 off for your Ballista, and then Ballista will search Box. Where is it? And then Box will search Trencher. You have to do the combo a little bit differently here because of the hand loop capacity. Then you will discard Box and Trencher to summon back Fortress. You will Trencher, banish itself, target Harvester, engrave to special, and then Harvester on summon will search for your Brutal Dozer. Then on resolution, you will activate your Harvester, target itself and Fortress, make them both level 9. Exceeds into your copy of Enter Blathnir. And then Enter Blathnir, detach Fortress is important, and then banish a card from your opponent's hand. Now you can Brutal Dozer, tribute the Ballista to summon itself, and then Brutal Dozer on summon will summon the Tunneler from deck. There he is. And then from here, it's kind of standard to what we did before. You just make your River Stormer. River Stormer, detach Tunneler. You will search for your copy of Bullet Train. And then you cannot actually summon the Bullet Train here because you control the Enter Blathnir. But what I do is I link for the Goliath. Stormer Engrave, tribute Goliath, summon itself. Oh, I just bumped the camera. Link for another Goliath. And then I am throwing my cards. What I do then is I link these 2 off for the Anger Knuckle. Now it is notable that all of your machine link 2s require just 2 machines with the exception of Ballista. Ballista takes 2 Earth machines. Doesn't usually come up, but just something to keep in mind. And then from here you can activate your Tunneler, banish itself. Now we only have 2 Goliaths here, but we did use 2 of our quote-unquote normal summons here. Because we did the Metal Cruncher and we did the Harvester, so I just put those 2 back. And then obviously the double Goliath and the Ballista, and then we get to draw 2 cards. Now you'll notice we end with Bullet Train in hand. I usually do it like that, so that we'll see if we draw into the Daracrane. Because this was a 2-card combo, so we'll have 3 other cards in hand. So we draw 2. Oh, sick, we drew Daracrane. So now we check what the other 3 cards in hand would have been. Oh, cool, we have Citadel, that's fine. So what we could do is we could summon Fortress here. If we didn't have anything else, we could summon Fortress by sending the Bullet at this point, and then activate Knuckle, send Fortress, target Bullet to special, and then summon Daracrane. Usually you just send a monster from anywhere. Standard combo ends with the Box in hand, if you noticed. So if you have access to Daracrane for in just the regular combo and not the hand loop, you could just send Box, summon Bullet, and then Daracrane special. And then that is how you're also able to end on the copy of Super Dora. That's pretty standard, so I didn't, like, not pretty standard, it's pretty simple, so I didn't go through a whole combo like that. But yeah, you'll notice with this we end on Dora, we have Impermanence, Ash, and then basically Masterpiece. And then if my opponent tries to destroy something, I can just Chain Knuckle, send Citadel, and just summon the Bullet Train, because during the end phase we will use Dora detach Bullet Train, and like just target itself just to detach the Bullet Train, and then the bullet will target Dozer to add back. Because the way you really outgrind your opponent, there's multiple ways to do it, but every end phase, if you can activate Bullet just to add back a monster, that's huge. So yeah. I'm just gonna finish off by showing one random test hand, because I've shown the regular combo and I have shown the hand loop combo. So let's just take a second to look at what just a random hand can look like. So give the deck a good shuffle, and let's see what we get here. So the deck is ultimately 12 one-card starters, so a lot of your hands do kind of feel the same. So we have Ash Blossom, Trencher, Redeployment, Brutal Dozer, Bullet Train. That's pretty good, because that ends on, because we opened Bullet, we'll be able to search Daracrane, so this basically just ends on the, what is that called? The hand loop combo plus the Dora. So the only thing is, obviously the redeployment actually kind of needs to resolve, but it's not the worst thing in the world. So we just redeployment. I discard Trencher here just because I want to get a second one engrave. And I will search for Metal Cruncher and Fortress. And then from here, it's pretty standard, just kind of what we did before. So I know Metal Cruncher affects search. I'm just gonna go for the first Harvester that I see. That is Secret Rare, I mean, because I have 2 Secret Rares in the Ultra, so I just go for the Secrets if I'm searching them. Yes, I'm a little bit of a rarity connoisseur, I guess. I don't know. I like shiny things. So then we do Fortress to summon. We link these two into the Ballista search. Now you'll notice we already have the Trencher, but I still search Trencher here because I like having it engrave. It's always just good to have. So then you search box triggers to search Trencher. I just always like having it engraved because it's just a free extender that can also become a search if you still have the Harvester engrave. So then we summon back the Fortress, Trencher that we searched, banish, target Harvester special, Harvester search. We already have Dozer here. So I actually opt to go for the Anchor Drill. But obviously you can see this because we already have Dozer that we don't really care too much. And then we affect target, make them both level 9. We make the Enter Blathnir effect, detach to rip a card out of the opponent's hand, which is really big, honestly. Like, that just helps a lot. Then you Dozer, Trippy Ballista, Dozer to summon from deck, you go for the Tunneler. And then you Xyz, making the River Stormer effect, detach. You search the Daracrane because we opened the Bullet Train. And you can see now why opening a train is just so powerful. I wouldn't play more than 3 though, because you don't want to open multiples because they don't actually start combos on their own, but they're fantastic extenders to have. Alrighty. So from here, we link for the Goliath, activate Stormer, Trippy Goliath, summon itself. This is basically just the combo that I just showed you. Make the second Goliath. Not sure if I said that already. Probably did. And then make our copy of Anger Knuckle. Now from here, we can activate the Tunneler banish to put back 1, 2, 3. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. We could keep the Trencher, or we could really keep a bunch of these things, but I'm gonna put back the Metal Cruncher and the Harvester because I already have basically all the Infinitrack targets that I could ever want in my hand already. If I wanted, I could keep the Harvester just for extra Fortress discards, which is not bad, but that is not necessarily the smartest thing to do here because we can get access to that anyway. So then we have to do that. Get our draw to, what do we get? Oh my god, Overdrive. Oh. Yeah, this hand is incredible. This hand is actually just insane. So because we did not summon Fortress here, we can just summon Bullet and then Daracrane summon. Because we have not triggered Anger Knuckle yet, we don't need to here. So then we just summon those two, we rank 10 into Dora. I'm only just gonna set one of the Overdrives here. Just because you're only using one effect, you can only use one effect per turn. And I intend to use the summon from deck effect on my opponent's turn and the draw effect on my turn. And I also just don't want to give my opponent more value for a Twin Twisters, so realistically just keeping as few back row as possible. You want to commit as little to the board as possible, which is weird to say. I guess there's not a better way to describe it. Anger Knuckle kind of does the same thing as Sky Striker Ace, kinda, and just making it really hard for you to die, because turn 1, you just plus hard, draw like your disruptions, and just don't die. Like the win con in game in turn 1 is just to not die, and then on the crackback after your opponent's failed to kill you, you just like break whatever they have and one-shot them or just grind them out realistically. So yeah, we just set the 1 overdrive, and then in end phase we activate Dora, detach Bullet, target self, and then still in end phase, Bullet can target the Brutal Dozer. So that was a very good hand, but a lot of your hands kind of feel like that just because you're drawing cards. You get access to more parts of your deck, which is really, really good. But yes, that is my updated Earth Machine deck profile and combo video. I know I said I was going to get it out. Sorry it's a little late, but yes, these are the combos. This is the deck that I have been one-tricking for the past several months and have just had incredible success with. Highly recommend it. And yeah, this is your boy, Pay 8. I'm still feeling great, and I will see y'all later. Peace.